Today I wanted to talk about globalization. When business becomes globalized, which majority of businesses in the United States and Canada are, that means that offshoring is usually involved. Now, offshoring is when you outsource all of your factories and production facilities to other countries where it's much more inexpensive to produce your product. So companies like Nike have been doing this for a long time, and that's actually one company that has been really scrutinized for offshoring and for the procedures that they have within their corporation and within their facilities in places such as Indonesia. It's not just Nike, many other shoe companies and clothing companies definitely offshore, and their employees do not get paid very much, and this is ultimately a horrible thing. Globalization is just the way that the world is going, but it's not the best thing for the entire world. It may be good for the corporations in the United States, but not necessarily for the employees of said companies in all those other countries that are a little less developed than our countries and where they are actually willing to work for $1.50 a day, and that's completely not comparable at all to what we make here, and it's not fair. This is mainly because labor is the single largest cost that a company can incur. So if they had a facility here in Canada produce Nike shoes, each person would at least get minimum wage, if not more, because most likely here we'd be under a union, and that would cost so much money to run the facility and employ all of these people in that facility, while in places like Indonesia, like I said, it's so much cheaper for the company. The globalization of a business is driven by demand. So that's if a company is very high in demand, their product is wanted greatly by the population here, they'll do what it takes to create whatever amount they have to at the cheapest price. So it's also driven by cost savings. Cost savings could be in the way of labor pay, as I said earlier, as well as tariff and taxation costs. So basically, in globalization, corporations are just trying to do what they can in order to maximize their profitability. That's it, plain and simple. Many corporations don't actually look at what impact they're having on their employees in other countries and on the industries here in North America or wherever the corporation is mainly located. So when we think of globalization, we need to think that yes, it may be good that we are being able to reach out and they're creating jobs for people on the other side of the world, but they're doing it at such a little cost that it hurts me to think about how little these people are living on, and what kind of conditions they're living in, and how we take what we have here for granted. And I know that's not really directly related to globalization, but it is something that I tend to think about when I think about globalization. So one thing we talked about in class was how big is the stakeholder circle? And so we think of the employees of the corporation, the consumers of the corporation. So many people are a stakeholder that really, who isn't a stakeholder these days? Everyone is impacted by the choices that corporations make, and it's kind of upon us to determine whether that's exploitation or opportunity. I believe that while yes, they are maximizing profit, they're also greatly exploiting their employees in places like Indonesia and China and whatnot. So who really benefits from it? Because while I may benefit from, say, purchasing a pair of Nike shoes, yay, I get a new pair of Nike shoes, I benefit in that I have good footwear, but it's not helping the people that are actually producing the item over on the other side of the world. In class, when we watched a little movie about the two people going over to the Nike facilities and being shut out, nobody would talk to them, and the corporations even said to their employees that if they communicated with these people that they would get in trouble. And that's like the last thing that these two people wanted. It really puts into perspective how a corporation works and how they really only care about being profitable and making money and having this big name. And the fact that celebrities tend to endorse these corporations without a care for what they're doing to their employees, I actually feel horrible that I own a pair of Nike shoes now. I'm not gonna stop wearing them just because then that would be a waste of my money. I'm probably gonna think of that movie every time and think about the people that made that shoe, and I'm gonna feel horrible every time I go to the gym. Really, there's nothing I can do about it as one person, but if we all go to a corporation and tell them that we don't like what they're doing and we don't want them to exploit their employees like that, the more people that do this, the greater impact we might have on them. And I know it's a very long shot, but it's worth a try, I think. It's better than nothing. It's better than just sitting by and saying, nothing we can do, as Les said in class. That's one little starfish, and if we could help one person, then we've made an impact, we've made a difference. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.